champion, die meeste, die beste, les grandes équipes, the champion. Guys, welcome back to the FIFA Flow podcast. Welcome to season 3, episode 27 of the FIFA Flow podcast. Today, guys, we got a huge episode, guys. We got La Liga. We're going to be talking about Barcelona with Gerard Piqué's his retirement and Barcelona's game this last weekend. We're going to talk about Gerard Piqué's career as a Barcelona player, as one of the best center backs of all time, top 5 center backs. We're going to talk about the Real Madrid's crazy game today, and it's a surprising game. We're going to go to the Ligue 1. We're going to talk about Paris Saint-Germain and Lorient. We're Paris Saint-Germain. We played really good. In my opinion, as a PSG fan, we played brilliant football. We're going to head over to the Premier League, guys. Talk about Arsenal-Chelsea. What a magnificent game for Arsenal. We're also going to take a look at Spurs versus Liverpool. And then I didn't watch the highlights of the Chelsea versus Aston Villa game, but we're going to take a quick look at that. We're going to take a look over at that as well. Then we're going to look at I want to talk a bit about the MLS as well, with the MLS Cup final. Just near the end of the game, I want to talk about one goal. We got a bit of football news as well regarding Liverpool. As I said, Gerard Piqué regarding his retirement as well. And then after that, after this weekend's games, we're going to head over to Champions League, guys. That's why we had the intro to the Champions League, because, guys, we have some crazy UCL Champions League matchups, guys, as well as a crazy Europa League knockout Europa League knockout round playoff. Like, we have a good matchup there, but we're mainly gonna talk about the Champions League. Just take a quick look at the Europa League matchups as well, and give my thoughts on that. But for the Champions League ones, I'm gonna try to go a bit into depth about them, how the teams are doing, and then I'll try to do a prediction now on how, currently as we speak, what teams would win. Yes, the games are in February, but as of now, what teams will be winning? I'm gonna be saying based off of the performance this season, from the teams in the matchups, from the start of the season till now, we're gonna say, who's gonna win. But of course, there's definitely, you never know what happens until match day, and then it's in February, guys. So we have World Cup, which could impact a lot of players. It either makes them better or makes them worse from the injuries. We got transfers from the January transfer window, so a lot could change in February when the knockout stage begins. So yeah, a lot can happen, but we're still gonna make a bit of predictions, talk about the teams as well and the matchups. Let's get into it, guys. Actually, one note before we get into the podcast, guys. We are coming near the end of the FIFA Flow podcast, or not the FIFA Flow podcast. We're coming near the end of season 3, guys. This Friday, I'm hoping to have, or not hoping, but I think we already secured one. We already secured one guest. So I think this Friday we're gonna be reintroducing Gareth. We had Gareth on the podcast before. Next Friday, I'm hoping to get my cousin and another friend on as well. So we're gonna have 3 guests in total. So this Friday, talking about the World Cup. Next Friday, World Cup. So these 2 episodes are gonna be a World Cup warm-up episodes. It's gonna be about not like a very long episode, just gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking about the World Cup. Brazil has just announced their I think they've just announced their their squad for the World Cup. So I guess we'll kind of react. We'll kind of take a look at that, because especially since Brazil being one of the top, being one of the highest, I guess, supported teams, so highest ranked teams to win the World Cup by fans, highest, you get what I mean. They're one of the most, they're the most favored team to win the World Cup. We're gonna take a look at, is the squad that they announced capable of that? Not having some players, maybe having some players that may be not ready enough, maybe be too young. We're going to talk about that this Friday, as well as next Friday as well. We're going to talk about Canada. Their squad should be announced this on November 13th as well. So we're going to take a look at all of that, guys. on this Friday's episode and next Friday's episode, World Cup warm-up episodes, and then the World Cup starts. So yeah, season 3, there's this episode, of course. I think the next episode will most likely have the next episode on so next season 3 episode of the FIFA Flow podcast will probably be next week on Monday. And next week will be the last match day of the league games. So we're gonna talk about that on Friday as well, with Gareth. But yeah, next week will be the last match day for league games. We're gonna talk about the league games next week. So that puts us, today is episode 27. Next week will be episode 28 of season 3, and then this Friday will be World Cup warm-up episode 1. Next week will be pre-World Cup warm-up episode 2. And then we get into the actual World Cup. So as you guys may know, on the channel we do have a few playlists over here. So season 1 we had last year. Season 2 we had over this past summer. Actually no, season 1 was the Euros. Season 2 was last year's season. And then season 3, we didn't really have anything this year, so I introduced we had I did some live streams and stuff. And then season 3 is this year's of course football league seasons, and then we're gonna take a bit of a break from that. I think we're gonna have a World Cup episode, and then when we go back to league episodes, we'll put it back into the season 3. I think we might put it back into season 3. I don't quite know. All I'll know is if you guys are keeping keeping track of the playlist and stuff, I'm gonna be introducing a new playlist for World Cup. So if you guys want to go back, watch any other World Cup episodes, a new playlist will be made, and we'll put season 3 on hold and then come back to season 3 after the World Cup. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. That was a bit confusing. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to give you guys some idea of what will be coming soon in the future, in the next 2 weeks of the FIFA Flow podcast. Because guys, a lot is coming, and then the World Cup, where we're hopefully, I think I'm planning to do about 3 episodes every week. So every 2 days I'm planning to do a World Cup episode while the World Cup is going on. So it's gonna be crazy. A heck load of videos gonna be coming out for the World Cup. If you guys want to check out the schedule, check it out here. So what day is it today? It's the 7th. So November the 7th, as I said, November 11th, we're hoping to get World Cup opinions and talks. And then next week on Monday the 14th, we're going to be talking about Weekend League post-match talks. Another part 2 World Cup opinions and talks next Friday, and then World Cup starts, and then we're hoping to do every 2 days during the World Cup. Every other day we're hoping to do a podcast episode. So yeah, it's going to be crazy, as I said. If you guys want to check out, this is before the World Cup, so I'm hoping to, actually I want to post like an official schedule for the World Cup videos, because I never know, there's a lot to talk about. Every 2 days I'm going to be having a lot of homework as well from school, so that is my priority, is school first. Of course I'm in grade 12, I need to get those good grades, guys. But other than that, yeah, I'm hoping to do two days as well, but it may not be consistent. It may be every 3 days instead. So that's why I don't want to post an official podcast schedule for the World Cup. But until then, this is your schedule if you want to check out. But yeah, sorry for making it confusing if it sounded confusing. Let's get into the podcast, guys. So let's start off with the La Liga, guys. Let's start off with Barcelona, guys. And Barcelona, I think they had a pretty good game. I watched a bit of the highlights as well. Their first half was a bit better than the second half. I think the second half they didn't play the best. But yeah, guys, overall I think Barcelona, I think they had a pretty decent game from what we've seen in the past and what we've seen in the UCL group stages for sure. So Dembele with that first goal, I think this goal, was it a penalty? So no, actually the first goal, so actually technically we started off with Barcelona getting a penalty. It was playing with a 1-2, Dembele down the wing over here. I think it goes to Balde, who's playing right back, not left back this time. It goes down to Balde. Balde crosses it in, Ferran Torres trying to get the header, and it goes on a handball on one of the Almeria players. Gets a penalty. And guys, Lewandowski, what happened to Lewandowski, guys? As I said in the past in the UCL games, if you mark Lewandowski, you're good, because the thing with Barcelona is they have no lethal finishers. And now that Lewandowski flopped this game, ghosted this game, they're absolutely screwed. They're absolutely screwed. So Lewandowski absolutely bottling. I've never seen a worst penalty ever taken. And the thing like about the penalty is the run up to take that penalty by Robert Lewandowski, or Lewandowski, because he played terrible this match, especially after that penalty, horrendous penalty. The run up to taking that penalty, it looked like he was not really nervous, but he was still questioning, oh, which side do I go for? So he's kind of like taking a step, almost stopped, and then just it hit out wide. It hit the post, went out wide. So I was like, what the hell are you doing, Lewandowski, man? I thought you were a lethal goal-scoring finisher, especially when it comes to penalties. One of the best penalty takers, one of the best goal scorers, banging shots, breaking nets and stuff, and then you're lobbing it, you're I don't know, you're like stepping, you're like tripping, like that run up was like so like lousy. What a lousy run up and stuff. He looked questionable. He was kind of nervous. It looked like oh, which side do I go for? Like it didn't look like he made a right decision to choose what side of the net to go for, and then he misses the net. So quite surprising there. Good build up by Barcelona to get that 1-2 with Dembele and Balde getting the cross in, and Ferran Torres getting that header, which then led to a handball and Lewandowski missing it. And obviously, I already told you guys, PK getting retirement. He announced his retirement. We'll take a look at that after the game. But yeah, PK announcing retirement. Apparently, PK was the one who was supposed to take it, and he gave it to Lewandowski. I wonder how he felt after Lewandowski had missed the penalty. After that, we had Dembele in the 48th minute. If I can recall this goal, can I recall this goal? I don't think I quite remember this goal, but yeah, Dembele in the 48th minute. We had Frankie de Jong in the 62nd minute. Yeah, this one was kind of rebounding. I think Dembele went. I think it was Dembele, or who was it? Was it Dembele or what's his name? Ansu Fati. I think it was Ansu Fati who got subbed on for Ferran Torres. Ansu Fati trying to get he got a shot on it. Goalkeeper blocked it. Fernando blocked it, and then Frankie de Jong in the middle of the box gets that rebound and hits in the back of the net. So I think that was that second goal there. I don't quite remember that Dembele goal. Overall, I think Barcelona did play pretty well from what we've seen in the past for sure. Like that Madrid game, that Inter game, that Bayern game. I think this is one of their best games of the season so far. Other than the fact that Lewandowski kind of ghosted, I'm still questioning, guys. I'm still questioning Xavi's tactics here. You're playing Busquets over... You're starting Busquets over Frank Kessie, man. And I'm still questioning that. The best lineup currently for Barcelona is Marc-Andre ter Stegen in net. Balde, I think Balde, what a young beast Balde is. I think Balde is a great either right back, left back, whatever you want to do. I think Balde is great. And now another thing about, yes, Gerard Piqué is a legend, a Barcelona legend. He's trying to leave the club. Like he doesn't want that 30 to 40 million from Barcelona. He wants to help Barcelona financially. Now, I understand that part. The only thing is, Gerard, why are you leaving in the middle of the season, in the middle of the Barcelona season? Yes, it's coming to World Cup time, so I guess you can say it's kind of like the end of the first half of the season. But like still, why are you leaving in the middle of the season when like half of Barcelona players are injured? You got Jules Koundé is injured. What's his name? Araujo is also injured, I believe. Christensen, I believe he's also injured. He's away. So like 8 or like I don't know how many of the Barcelona's players are injured. Like I know like many of their players are injured, and he decides to leave. So maybe not the best time to leave. Maybe if you left like after the World Cup or something like that, would have been a bit better, but a bit questionable when half of your center backs are injured, and then you also lose another center back. Not really the best for Barcelona. But other than that, I think, yeah, as I said, going back to Barcelona's best lineup, I think it would have to be Koundé and Araujo, even though they're injured right now. I think Jordi Alba is a great, he's still balling out there. He's still balling. You got Pedri. I think you need to start Kessie, man. Yeah, I'm still, as I said, I'm still questioning why Xavi is running Sergio Busquets. And talking about Busquets, now that Gerard Piqué has left Barcelona, has left left for retirement. And now it is confirmed. Well, not confirmed, but apparently now Barcelona, that from the only player left from Barcelona from the 2012 squad is now Sergio Busquets. You can kind of say Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba joined Barcelona in 2012. Wasn't really a starter or anything yet. But as a main player, as one of the best players, as one of the most important key what am I trying to say here? One of the most valued players for Barcelona fans and for Barcelona as a club, Sergio Busquets, a Barcelona legend from 2012. He is the last player left from that squad. So yeah, quite sad, guys. Barcelona 2012, that 2012 squad. You got Messi, 91 goals that season in the whole calendar year. Messi with 91 goals. That includes the international, I think the league goals and stuff. So 91 goals for Messi that year. Barcelona were insane. They were something else that year, and now it's unfortunately Busquets, the only one left in that squad who still plays for Barcelona. And I'm still questioning why he plays, man. He has no legs, man. And did he even have any legs before either, man? Like, I'm still questioning. But overall, I think, as I said, Barcelona, one of their best games this season. It's like better than what we've seen in the past. You can tell they dominated. 70% possession, 30% versus 30% possession. 27 shots versus 4 shots, 13 shots on target versus a 1 shot on target. Yeah, as I said, Lewandowski was a flop this match. Instead of Lewandowski, like Thomas Muller said, Lewandowski. He literally ghosted this match. But yeah, that is the Barcelona game this weekend. Let's just take a look at Gerard Piqué. What a legend, man. This guy, legend. Visca Barça. Visca Barça. Guys, what a legend this guy. And like, not just a Barcelona, I think he's not just a football legend, he's a more of a Barcelona legend, man. This guy for Barcelona in La Liga in Spain, won the World Cup back in, when was it, 2010? Barcelona, actually, yeah, it was back in 2010, and in 2012 they won the Euros, was it? And then, or the Nations League, and then even in 08 they also won yet another. It was like the Spain, the treble. They won the treble back to back to back. They won the Euros and then won World Cup and then won the Euros again, or the Nations League. So crazy for Spain. Piqué, one of the best center backs of all time. As someone who's grown up, like someone who's watched Piqué, like I think for me, like Piqué, I think Piqué has to be a top 5 center back. Maybe you can say 6th place. For me, I'd say personally, Ramos has to be the best center back of all time. Then I'll put Maldini second. I know, like, I didn't watch Beckenbauer and stuff, but by the looks of it, like Beckenbauer back in the day, I think he has to be in the 3rd place. I think in 4th place you have to give it to Cannavaro. He won a Ballon d'Or as well. One of the rarest, like he was one of the only like center backs to win a Ballon d'Or as well. I think Beckenbauer also won one. So I think Cannavaro has to be 4th. And then I'd put, what's his name? Not Cannavaro, what's his name? Nesta. Honestly, I think Nesta, I think you can argue between Nesta and Piqué in 5th place, and then like one of them, if one of them gets 6th, then in 7th place you have to put VVD. But yeah, Ramos or Piqué is definitely up there in the top 6 for sure. But yeah, honestly, what a legend this guy was. Like, holy man, back in the day, back in the Barcelona prime days, like back in 2013, 14, 2012, those were the days, man, of Gerard Piqué. Him and Ramos, man, crazy. And it's got, honestly, if you guys don't know, back in the day, like before Gerard, so actually Gerard was born and raised in Barcelona. I think it was his grandfather who was the vice president of Barcelona as well. And then back in the day, I've said that like 5 times already in the past minute. But yeah, like a long time ago, back in like I guess like 2010 and stuff, or like whenever Gerard Piqué was in what is it? The La Masia, the FC Barcelona the youth squad, the youth organization. Barcelona didn't really trust, or didn't really, I guess, like they didn't really trust their youth squad. So Gerard Piqué left Barcelona, left his home, left the place he was raised, went to Manchester United, and it's kind of odd to see United like going to United. That's one of the weirdest transfers, like ever. I think for PK, like going to United, leaving his home and everything. He went to United. It's kind of weird seeing pictures of like Ronaldo and like if we take a look, Ronaldo and PK United, and they're like laughing together and stuff. This is kind of crazy. Like see Ronaldo, young Ronaldo and young PK back in United. Kind of crazy to see them laughing and everything together. And then he goes back to Barcelona, and then becomes rivals with Cristiano Ronaldo. It's kind of the same with Ramos and Lionel Messi, guys. Ramos and Messi rivalries for the past over 2 decades, and now last year both of them going to PSG, now being teammates. I think just 2 weeks ago, Ramos also assisted Lionel Messi as well in that long shot. We were away. I think we were versus Troyes, was it? So yeah, I think Ramos assisted Messi. So it's kind of odd to see that, like, from friends and rivals like PK, from friends with Ronaldo at United, going to becoming rivalries in the Clasico, and then same with Ramos and Messi, from rivalries to friends right now. So, man, historic player like Gerard Piqué, or as I said, Papi Piqué. Yeah, Papi Piqué. Papi Piqué. What a player this guy is. Papi Piqué. Holy. We are back. So yeah, historic player. As I said, as I said, football legend, more like a Barcelona legend. Cause like, yeah, as I said, not really top 3 center back in my opinion. I'd say top 6 for sure. Because like I think if you say top 3, then yes, football legend. But I think because it's top 6, he's still a football legend, but more a Barcelona legend over a football legend for sure. He went to join Piqué and Casillas, or he went to join Puyol and Casillas, guys. I had to say that. But yeah, that is Barcelona there for you guys. This is Real Madrid's game today, guys. Rayo Vallecano versus Real Madrid. I think Rayo Vallecano is also from Madrid. Is Rayo Vallecano. If you take a look here, yeah, so it is in Madrid. I believe it is in Madrid. Community of Madrid. So yeah, I believe it is in Madrid. So this was, you can say, the dollar store Madrid derby. The Real Madrid derby, of course, Atletico de Madrid versus Real Madrid. So this is the dollar store Madrid derby, guys. Real Vallecano versus Real Madrid. A lot of Madrid fans, of course, making fun of Barcelona drawing 0-0 to Real Vallecano. Now, Madrid fans, where you at? Where you at, Madrid fans? Where are you at? Tell me now. What are you saying now? You're crying. I see you guys crying there. I hear you guys crying. But yeah, crazy, terrible game. Honestly, one of Real Madrid's worst seasons, or not worst season, worst games this season, guys. No Benzema, no party, and it's kind of questionable. Benzema being, I think it's his 8th game this season, which he's missed. Is he actually injured, or is Madrid kind of hiding stuff up to let him be prepared for the World Cup? So kind of questionable from Karim Benzema and Real Madrid. No Madrid, no party. Man, Real Madrid played terrible. Let's go over through the goals and then how each team played. So yeah, the first goal in the 5th minute, playing down the wing from Real Vallecano, going down the wing here. And where was it? Yeah, it's on this side here, going down the wing, crossing into the midfield to this guy here, Trejo, I think it was. He was just outside the box over here, and then gets a pass in the back of the net behind Thibaut Courtois. And then we go to, when is it, the 37th minute. It is Lucas Vazquez, or no, not Lucas Vazquez, it is Marco Asensio making a run here, gets tripped in the box, which leads to a penalty, and then Luka Modric scoring that penalty there. We go to the 41st minute, actually, off of a set piece corner. Is on the corner where Eder Militao, this guy is such a great center back from Porto. Like, how much did Madrid buy this guy from Porto? Oh, 50 million. But other than that, like 50 million, that's a steal, man. One of the best center backs, I think, for Madrid right now. I think Rudiger's up there as well. But other than that, I think Eder Militao, what a signing. Last season, he was crazy for Madrid. This season he's doing pretty decent, but like coming from Porto and stuff, that is a crazy deal for Madrid. And he goes ahead, scores that header off of that set piece corner in the 41st minute to make it 2-1 for Madrid, Real Madrid, of course. And then in the 44th minute, man, this is where Madrid looked absolutely lost. They look lost. This is where Real Madrid looked lost because it's just going all over the place in the box. You got Ferland Mendy like looking at the ball. He's literally standing looking at the ball. You got Eder Militao. I just said, oh, he's a great signing, but still. Carvajal, he doesn't know what to do. Tchouaméni doesn't know what to do. Modric doesn't know what to do. They're like running around. The ball goes to this side. And I think it is Garcia guy who got the first assist as well. This guy banging it. What a powerful strike. And actually, Courtois actually hit Courtois' hands and then it still went in the back of the net. So, honestly, Courtois this game he was like plastic, man. He was literally like plastic. And then this was a really weird situation in the 67th minute. There was a penalty given to Real Madrid. Once again, Madrid looking like they looked like terrible. They looked horrendous in the back line. I think it hit Carvajal. It was one of the Real Valencia players who tried to get it back over, tried to get it over Carvajal, and it hit Carvajal's hand, which led to a penalty. At first, the penalty was saved, but I think it was Carvajal who went into the box too early, as well as I think Thibaut Courtois went off his line as well. So if you guys know, when you're saving a penalty, you can't go off your line. The line before the box, you can't go off that line. And so I think it was actually Thibaut Courtois who went off early as well. He went off his line, and then they gave the penalty again. And then they scored. So, I mean, Thibaut Courtois, what a game, man. Thibaut Courtois throwing that game. One of the worst games for, not only for Courtois, but I think for all of Madrid. They played horrendously bad. There were some opportunities. I honestly, shout out to Real Vallecano. I think they played absolutely, they actually put a show on for Real Madrid, and it was very unexpected. There was actually one funny moment where it was Madrid on the attack. If we take a look at Real Vallecano Stadium. If you take a look at their stadium, guys, one side of their stadium, yeah, it had this wall over here. So it was Madrid on the attack here. And then Valverde tries to go like boot it up. He tries to go for a power strike. Instead of going into the net, it goes up and it goes into one of the balconies of the apartments just outside the stadium. And I was like, what the hell, man? How is that? I was like, ain't no ways, man. Ain't no way. So that was quite hilarious there. Honestly, these guys have such a good view. Look at this view, guys. They have a good view of the stadium. Watching Real Madrid, guys. Watching Barcelona, Atletico Madrid when they play over here. So quite crazy. Quite lucky. But yeah, that's quite hilarious, man. Valverde, what are you doing? I think his price tag on transfer market went up to 100 million as well, and then he does that stuff, might as well go back to 90 million value. But yeah, that is Madrid, one of their worst games this season. Modric, even though you scored, man, you played terrible. Literally did not know, he was lost. Ferland Mendy was lost. Carvajal literally lost. Everybody was lost, guys. Vinny didn't know what to do. Rodrigo, man, as I said, no Benzema, no party. So yeah, what a bad game for Madrid. But yeah, crazy there. And since that loss, and now, guys, look at this, guys. You Madrid fans once again. Go ahead, hate all you want, but karma is real, man. My guy, karma is real. And look at Barcelona. Everybody hating on Barcelona. I mean, to be fair, I did also hate on Barcelona. I didn't really hate, but I said be prepared for Barcelona to put on a show, man. These guys, like, even though they're not playing the best this season in the UCL and stuff, they're still gonna put on the show, man. With all these new signings, Dembele, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Gavi, Balde. So Barcelona back on top with a 2-point difference against Real Madrid. So yeah, that is the La Liga there. Holy, 30 minutes just on the La Liga, guys. But yeah, let's go over to the Ligue 1 next, guys. I want to talk about the Ligue 1 next. With we got Paris Saint-Germain versus Lorient, and what a game we had here, guys. PSG 2-1. In the 9th minute, we had Neymar, Zito, Neymar. Neymar Jr. getting a goal in the 9th minute. It was actually Hugo Ekitike who made the assist. In the box, it was Hugo Ekitike here, passes it to Neymar, and actually Mbappe open, who could have got an easier goal, but looked like Neymar wanted to take a turn around. He did like a spin, turned, and did a good finish in the back of the net. And actually very bad from actually the goalkeeper getting subbed off as well because of his horrendous mistake for that first goal. It was actually the goalkeeper who's controlling the ball, and then Neymar applying pressure for the first time, man. Neymar actually defending for the first time. Neymar puts pressure on the keeper. The keeper slips and stuff because he's like, oh, I think I'm nervous and stuff. I just lost the ball to Neymar and stuff. Goes, it rebounds to Ekitike. Ekitike back into the box. The keeper couldn't get back on his feet to get to the other side of the net, so he's kind of on the ground, like moving. Trips one of the, like, this guy runs over and trips over the keeper as well, and then Neymar just, yeah, pretty bad there. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's this guy who also tripped, but I think he's innocent, guys. I think he's innocent. I had to try to make a joke because of his name. But yeah, that was a pretty good goal there. Bad mistake by the Lorient team, especially with the keeper. And then in the second goal, we had a second goal. Guys, this 53rd minute goal couldn't be any more horrendous from our backline. And that's why I'm kind of nervous of the upcoming Champions League, which we'll take a look at in a bit. Is our backline is quite terrible, man. Our backline, how are we letting this goal in? It's like we let them play so easy. You got Ramos, who's kind of like preparing, like he has his hands behind his back. Oh, you're gonna pass it, block me. He's trying to intercept it and stuff. But then it goes like they're playing like 1-2s. They're playing just tiki taka, like in our back line near our box, near the outside of our box. Goes past Marquinhos and Verratti. And then they just get a good finish on net, and Donnarumma couldn't save it either, like a good far post finish. So I mean, what is our backline doing, guys? Like, I don't really know how to explain the goal. I would show you guys the goals, but like I don't want to get like copyright banned or some stuff. I do already get like copyright like warnings for like playing the music at the end and the beginning, like the Champions League, and the end song as well. So I don't know if I'll continue doing those, but other than that, yeah, I think I'll get more bans, like more copyright strikes than like if I play the actual football video, because they're very strict on those. But other than that, guys, yeah, what is our, like, now the way I'm explaining it, just try to visualize it. It's like they're playing 1-2s. You got Marquinhos and Verratti don't know how to defend as all. You got Ramos literally standing still. And he makes the run after. Like, yes, you can see that, oh, like he's about to make the run, but like they just played too fast and then got into our box, got in behind our defense, and honestly, it was a good goal. But it's like, how are we losing? Like, how are we conceding this type of goal? We should be defending that way better, guys. So unlucky goal there. Very, very disappointed of that. But then we had Danilo Pereira in the 81st minute off of a corner. Danilo Pereira goes ahead and scores that. So overall, yeah, guys, Mbappe, Neymar killing it this game. As I said, we need to definitely solve our backline. We need Skriniar, man. I'm telling you guys, we need Skriniar. Like usual, like I always say, Hakimi Nunes in the attack, vital players in the attack. Danilo Pereira, pretty decent at a center back. I'm quite liking it, but he's kind of a temporary one until we get a new center back, a new strong center back like Skriniar in the January transfer window. So yeah, that is Paris Saint-Germain there. Still undefeated. I think PSG, now that Madrid have also lost, I think PSG and I think it's PSG and not Man City. Don't quite know who the other team is. I know for sure, I think PSG are still the only undefeated team in Europe now that Madrid have been defeated by the Real Vallecano today. I think now PSG and one more team, I don't quite know. It's not Man City because Liverpool beat Man City, so they've been defeated once. But yeah, PSG undefeated this season, so crazy start for us. And yes, yeah, we're undefeated and stuff. We're getting goals and we're undefeated, but we're still conceding so many goals. Like, okay, 9 goals conceded. But other than that, like, it's still quite, like, it's not the goals you want to see us conceding. And it's not just, oh, 9 goals. It's the fact that, like, they're still getting in behind and breaking our defense very easily. That's also a major problem. even though they don't score, it's the fact that they're breaking our defense so easily. So that's what we need to work on as well. That is the league on there. Let's go over to the Premier League, guys. Talk about this weekend's Premier League. So let's go ahead. Liverpool, Spurs, and honestly, I think this game one of the best Liverpool games I've seen so far this season. Now I know I was kind of a Darwin Núñez hater, Parwin Punez. I was all like that stuff and all that stuff and like everything, but honestly, Darwin Núñez this game, he did pretty decent. I gotta be honest. He did pretty decent. Got that assist, that first 11th minute assist to Mo Salah. His first touch, not really the best, but he gets a bad first touch, stays composed, passes it to Mo Salah, and then Mo Salah turning around, getting a banger shot, powerful strike in behind Hugo Lloris in the back of the net, just on this side here. And then in the 40th minute, it was actually Dyer. Is it Dyer or Deer? I think it's actually Dyer, who the headers, like they're trying to do over the top through ball in behind Spurs defense to Salah. Dyer actually tries to go headers it to Lloris so Lloris can catch it. And then it's actually it's Dyer who gets a bad header. He's headering it towards Lloris, but he gets such a terrible header that it goes to Salah, and because Dyer actually was the last one to touch it, Salah stays onside because Dyer touched it, and then Salah just trips it over Lloris and makes it 2 for Liverpool. So that was terrible from the Spurs backline. But that was the first half. Not just Salah, I think Liverpool playing really, really well in the first half. As I said, Darwin Núñez getting a few chances as well. In the second half is where I have to say Liverpool played a bit of sloppy football. They played really sloppy. I think Spurs were the one who kind of dominated that second half. They had a lot of chances. Spurs kind of unlucky with they hit the post quite a lot, man. It was Dyer who actually got a really good chance to get in the back of the net once. It was I think it was Perisic as well who hit the crossbar. Dyer going for the cross and hit the crossbar as well. It was kind of not the best cross because it hit the crossbar, so it wasn't really the best cross into the box, but still kind of like a shot on target, which also hit the box, hit the top bar. So unlucky from Spurs, but I think they played the better half. They played better in the second half there. Good play from Liverpool. Yeah, that goal from Salah going on fire. Same with Núñez. I gotta be honest. Sorry, Darwin Núñez, but yeah, it looks like you're doing pretty decent. So yeah, good there from Liverpool. Just wanted to note that. Chelsea and Arsenal, guys. Arsenal are the best club in the world, guys. Yes, they have one loss so far this season, but you know what this Arsenal reminds me of? This reminds me of what was the year? Was it 04 Arsenal? Who won? No, was this? Yeah, it was Arsenal in 2004. In 04, Arsenal's undefeated, unbeaten. So yes, they could have drawn. They could have gone a 0-0, 1-1, but they did not lose. Undefeated. Arsenal's undefeated season back in 2004. So I knew it was 2004. We got Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry. I think Bergkamp was also there still. So that team was legendary. And the way Arsenal are playing this season reminds me so much of that. You got Odegaard, who's just insane in the midfield, guys. You got Xhaka, who's the new Vieira, the new Patrick Vieira. Xhaka, the leader, the absolute monster in the midfield. You got Bukayo Saka, you got Gabriel Martinelli, Gabby Jesus, as I say his nickname, Gabby Jesus. He kind of like in the beginning of the season, I was like, oh my, what a magisterial signing for Arsenal. But like he's still done. He's still really good in the attack, getting some good finishes. But I think like he's not really the best, but still a really good player for Arsenal. In the backline, Saliba and what's his name? Gabriel and Saliba. What a midfield! What a dual partnership in Arsenal center back, like in that back line. As I said, Xhaka, Zinchenko from Man City. I think this is a brilliant signing. Overall, this Arsenal team reminds me so much of that 2003-2004 Invincibles, the Invincible Arsenal's unbeaten season, and it's reminded me so much of that season. It's like They play really versatile. They're going out there with passion. They're going out there with versatile. Let me actually show you guys this video here. It's a TikTok.
What I have in my hand, a fucking avocado, guys. Most of you here don't know, is avocado fruit or vegetable? This is why it's so fucking good, guys. It's unpredictable. I need you guys to go out there today and be so fucking unpredictable, guys.
This video is just too good.
You know what, guys? This avocado is so versatile. You can use it in guacamole, in scrambled egg, in toast, in salad, in soup. Everywhere, guys. It can be everywhere. I need you guys to go out there today and be everywhere on the pitch, guys. Be versatile and unpredictable. Okay, guys, I fucking love you guys. Come on, let's go fucking win.
Yeah, I had to show you guys that. So like, it's kind of a joke. Like, oh, look at this avocado. Is it a fruit or vegetable? You don't know because it's unpredictable. I want you to go out there and be very unpredictable. And then it's a very versatile. This avocado is very good because you can use it in many dishes like soup, salad, breakfast and stuff. So I want you guys to go out there, be versatile, be everywhere on the pitch, and be unpredictable like this avocado. So it's quite funny. And Arsenal actually did. They did an avocado, guys. Arsenal did an avocado. They went out there and they made Chelsea look like Scheisse. They made Chelsea look like trash. They made Chelsea look like the outside of the avocado. Arsenal were the inside, the main part of the avocado, and the main unpredictable part of the avocado, where Arsenal are the trash outside part of the avocado that no one eats. So that is what yeah, it's quite funny. I had to show that video, but Arsenal literally couldn't play any better. And as I said, this team reminds me so much of that 2003-2004 invincible unbeaten season of Arsenal where they won the Premier League as well. What a team that was, and what a team this is. Martin Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe. Overall, like, they have so many good ballers, man. As I said, Gabriel and Saliba, man. This dual partnership for Arsenal is insane. And we're going to talk about Saliba this Friday because this, in the World Cup episode, him and Konate, the future of France. We're going to talk about that partnership as well. But for Arsenal, Saliba and Gabriel, one of the best partnerships in the Premier League I've seen this season. So overall, Arsenal, they dominated Chelsea. The goal that actually was scored by Arsenal was actually by Saka. You could say it was by Saka because it was actually curved by Saka. If it wasn't for Gabriel who touched it, if Gabriel didn't touch it in the last second, like the ball would have gone in from the corner, directly from the corner. But Gabriel went to touch it just to make sure. Got that touch and went in the back of the net, and then they actually went around. They went to celebrate. They ran around Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, as you guys know, former Arsenal player, and then went to the blue side of London, aka Chelsea. They went and ran around Aubameyang, and then they celebrated and stuff. So you guys could say a shared goal between Saka and Gabriel the center back, not Gabriel Martinelli and not Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel center back, so the Brazilian. I mean, they're all Brazilian, but the Gabriel center back, guys. A dual partnership there to both get a chance to get the touch on the ball, to get in the back, to secure it in the back of the net, run around Aubameyang, and then go ahead and score that goal. So yeah, as I said, Arsenal playing beautiful football. They had some really magisterial chances. I think Kai Havertz played decent as well. But like, it was mainly like Gabriel Martinelli had a few chances. It was Gabby Jesus who actually made a run like into the box, and then not really the best finish, but tries to go near post, but hits Edouard Mendy. So they had really good finishes. They had some really good opportunities to shoot, to score goals, and Arsenal overall, they controlled the game. If you look at stats over here, 56 versus 44% possession, 14 shots on target versus 5. 2 shots on target versus 1 shot. So overall, yeah, as I said, Arsenal dominating this game. So a huge game there for Arsenal to secure that on the top of the league. So who did they have next? I think they have Leicester. No, they have Wolves next. So hopefully that should be an easy game for Arsenal. City having, who does City have? They have Brentford. So Brentford will probably, I think City will secure that win. Hopefully Arsenal can win as well to secure the top of the Premier League until the end of the World Cup, of course, until the World Cup ends and then the league resumes. Hopefully Arsenal can end off the World Cup with a happy ending and then plan a new beginning after the World Cup, or after the league starts once again, post World Cup. So yeah, crazy there for Arsenal. Crazy the game. And then taking a quick look, we'll take a quick scan. Yeah, I didn't really want to talk about this game too much because, guys, it explains itself. Like, yeah, here, guys, just take a look. I'm just gonna head out. Yeah, this game explains itself, guys. United played terrible. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo also, he was the captain this game, and you guys can tell since Cristiano Ronaldo was the captain, they lost. But guys, I literally called it. You have Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers in the Premier League. You got Mikel Arteta, one of the, like, he actually was part of Man City. He was actually part of the Man City team when Pep was there as well, and then he left to Arsenal. So he was kind of created by Pep Guardiola. And then now you got Unai Emery back in the Premier League, coaching Aston Villa and beating United on his first game. Am I hearing Spain managers are built different, man? I mean, you have Zidane as well and stuff. But other than that, Spain Premier League managers are built different. Unai Emery back at it again. You got Mikel Arteta, who is a robot, who is made by Pep Guardiola. And then you got Pep Guardiola himself, the master, guys. So these three, I'm going to tell you, by the end of this season, top 3 Premier League. Arsenal first, Man City second, Aston Villa third. And Aston Villa third because Unai Emery is going to be carrying Aston Villa. So crazy there, just surprising there. What the hell is this formation? Oh, 4-2-2. So yeah, 4-2-2, 4-2-3-1. Yeah, very terrible game from United, and maybe that's because Ronaldo was captaining, guys. What's his name? Harry Maguire is a better captain than Ronaldo, so I had to say it. But yeah, now puts the table at Arsenal first, Man City second. Newcastle, honestly, they're doing really good as well. I think Newcastle also won this past weekend 4-1 against Southampton. They won last week as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4-0 here against Aston Villa. 2-1 against Spurs. Where was it? Over here as well. 1-0 against Everton. They had another one here as well. I believe they won 0-0 against honestly, all of those games, like only one loss this season. Is probably against Man City. But other than that loss, I think Newcastle are doing really good this season as well. Pretty unexpected from Newcastle. The money, the new Qatari Riyal has actually worked. The new Saudi Arabia, the new oil money for Newcastle has actually paid out. So yeah, that is the Premier League for you. 2 crazy games. The main games, the Spurs versus Liverpool game, and then the Chelsea Arsenal game. Let's go to the MLS, guys. Just a quick look at the MLS. Yeah, crazy ending here to the MLS Cup final. LAFC winning the MLS for the first time, guys, against Philadelphia Cup final. Gareth Bale makes the difference, guys. So crazy. It's actually yeah. So in the 83rd minute, LAFC go ahead and make it 2-1. And then Jack Elliott, whoever this guy is, who guys? Who is this guy? He makes it. He draws it in the 85th minute to make it 2-2. It goes to extra time in the 124th minute. Philadelphia score, and then in the 128th minute, I think it was 9-minute added time. Literally in the last minute of the game, Gareth Bale, the legend, the European legend, secures a goal to make it 3-3, and then LAFC and Philadelphia go to penalties where LAFC wins. So if it wasn't for that Bale last minute goal, LAFC would have won. So Bale, guys, he's built different. So it's crazy that I wanted to talk about that because Bale making the difference. But yeah, that is your weekend league there. I wanted to take a quick review on there. But now let's go over to the I don't really know if we'll talk about the Europa League, but let's just take a quick look at this, and then we'll go to quickly take a look at the Champions League, of course. But yeah, some crazy matchups here. We got Barcelona and United, one of the most rigged things here, because apparently when he's mixing it to draw it out, he grabbed one of them and then he looked at one of the UEFA like the main UEFA people, and then switched it out and grabbed another one. So it was kind of weird. It's like, and then like it's so rigged, man. It was such a rigged draw for this game here, but it's still gonna be crazy. Ronaldo against United, Lewandowski, Ronaldo against Barcelona, and Lewandowski against United. Crazy matchup there. Juventus Nantes. I think this is a pretty good game. Leverkusen and AS Monaco. I really like AS Monaco, especially because of Wissam Ben Yedder, the rats, the FIFA rat. And honestly, I think people should pay attention to Bayern Leverkusen, especially because of Xabi Alonso. What ability does he have? Xabi Alonso, not Xavi. So the Bayern legend, the Liverpool, the Real Madrid legend, Xabi Alonso. I think PSV and Sevilla should also be a good matchup. Keep in mind, guys, this is the playoffs, so I believe that if you got first in your group, you go through to the semifinals. Or no, there's 8 groups, so I believe 8 groups go on. If you get first place in the Europa League, all 8 groups who got first place go on to the round of 16 automatically. And then I think if you get second place in your group, you verse the people who got third place in the UCL, and then they play, and then that is another 8 teams, and then it goes to the round of 16 for Europa League. So that's how it works for the Europa League. So this is not officially, this is not the round of 16. This is another playoff for the second place Europa League group teams and the third place Champions League teams to then get into the Europa League. So this is what that is. So if you guys are confused there, how are Barcelona, how are United playing? Didn't they get second and stuff? Even if you get second in the Europa League group stage, you go to the playoffs, and then if you win in the playoffs, then you go to the round of 16. So there's kind of like an extra stage if you get second in the Europa League. But yeah, that is the Europa League there. And now we go to the Champions League, guys. So let's go ahead and go to our usual, the notepad, guys. We love our lovely notepad, and take a look here. So we talked about this last time, but now we have some crazy matchups, guys. Crazy matchups. So we start off with RB Leipzig versus Man City. So this is gonna be a pretty interesting game. I think Leipzig, not the easiest German team. I think like a team like I guess Bayern Leverkusen would have been easier, of course. I think even I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say here is Leipzig are not gonna be an easy team. Not easy like Club Brugge. Not gonna be easy like yeah. I think Club Brugge are probably the easiest team here. So I think not the easiest team, but I think they should definitely. I think Man City should be prepared. They have Timo Werner. They got Christopher Nkunku. What's his name? Andre Silva. I think they have some pretty good legends. Lamer, not legends, some pretty good like ballers out there. So they got Lamer as well, the Austrian. RB Leipzig, I think they're definitely gonna be a tough team. But I think Man City, you already know Man City are probably gonna go through there. So don't want to go too much into depth there. Club Brugge, the only Belgium team to go through, versus Benfica. And honestly, as I said, Benfica, as I said, every year we have this one passion team, guys. Last year it was Villarreal. The year before it was Porto. Back in, when was it, 2018-19? Yeah, back in 2018/19 season, when I think it was Ajax who knocked out Real Madrid in the round of 16. That was Ajax's year. Ajax were the passion team there, and I think this year it has to be Benfica. They drew the PSG twice and pulled it in the last game. They pulled 6 goals against Maccabi Haifa in the last game to top their group, and then now get one of the easiest opponents. So I think it was all to Benfica's passion, which got them to first place, and now got them an easy team in the round of 16 to then make them go on through. So that's why I say Benfica are gonna win here. The passion they have this season is unbelievable. Now, Liverpool versus Madrid yet again. We saw this last season. This is the rematch of the last season's Champions League final. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. 2 years, guys. Or in one year, Mohamed Salah has 2 matches to get revenge on Real Madrid. So this is gonna be a crazy game. Another crazy game. One of the most. I think this is the best game. I think this has to be the second hyped game. I'm gonna put a 2 by because I think this is gonna be the second best game to keep an eye out for everyone. Liverpool and Madrid. Now as of now, Liverpool. As of now, I really don't know who's gonna win because Madrid not looking good, and same with Liverpool. I think right now, even though Madrid are not looking good at all, no Benzema, no Party. I think they're still looking better than Liverpool. Liverpool kind of fallen off, although Darwin Núñez and Salah kind of showing up recently in the past 2-3 games. But other than that, overall performance from the whole season and not just individual players, I think Madrid are doing better than Liverpool, even though Madrid are also doing pretty bad this season as well. So, as I said, it's going to come down to February. It's going to come all the way up to February, the transfers and stuff, how the players will feel in February, the injuries and all that from the World Cup. It always comes down to then. But as of now, it's really a 50-50 in my opinion. And I really think that Liverpool, even though they're doing bad, even though I said Madrid are the stronger team against Liverpool, I do think that Salah, I think Darwin Núñez, I think Firmino, what's his name, Konate. I think Konate is such a great center back. And I think he's going to be carrying that back line for Liverpool. Same with Alisson. I think Alisson is showing up this season as well. Overall, I think it's really. I think Liverpool have a chance. I think Liverpool will win. As I said, I'm really judging this off of how both teams have been playing right now. Madrid not really doing the best so far in the La Liga this season. Liverpool, they're like 50-50. They're losing to Leeds and Nottingham Forest, but they can beat Napoli. Like the insane Napoli squad right now and Man City, so it's kind of weird there. But I think Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah, that attack is vital, especially this past weekend and the week before. I think they've been doing really, really good, especially Mohamed Salah. He's starting to show up more. So for that reason, I say Liverpool have a chance now. But as I said, it really comes down to match day, the week before, injuries, how the team is in February, like when it comes close to that match day. It really depends till then. So but as of now, as I said, it's going to be a crazy matchup. We've seen this twice. Salah wanting revenge against Madrid. This is his second opportunity to knock them out early on this time, and then not have a chance to play them in the final. Well, I mean, either way, one of them would be knocked out. But let's say they didn't match each other in the round of 16, and both teams made it all the way through to the final. Then Liverpool would have another nightmare to beat Madrid again, to verse Madrid again. So this time Liverpool have an earlier chance to knock out Madrid. So yeah, crazy game there, crazy matchup. It can go either way. As of now, it's really 50-50. Because Liverpool, they have some ups and downs, beating good teams but then losing the bad teams. Madrid not doing the best as well. I really don't think it's their best start to the season. But yeah, that is that. AC Milan Spurs. So I think this game is also pretty good. I think AC Milan will really show up. I think don't sleep on AC Milan. You got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course. There can only be one Zlatan. The youngster Zlatan, Rafael Leao. But at the same time, Spurs, I think the only problem with Spurs, I will say that they'll lose with, is their backline. I think their backline is what's gonna probably cause Spurs to lose this game. I think other than that, their front line is, I think their front line and their midfield is pretty decent. You got what's his name, Perisic, Kane, Perisic, Kane, Heung-min Son, and I think that's a really good attack. I think, as I said, it's really the back line which I think is gonna mess up Spurs. But for I think AC Milan have such a good whole team. Rafael Leao, what's his name? Yeah, Zlatan, of course. I have to say Zlatan. In the midfield, you got Tonali. What's his name? Benacer. Is it Benacer? You got Tomori in the back line. You got Mike Mignon. You got Theo Hernandez. So AC Milan have a really strong team. So I think this is a good game to watch out for. I'm gonna put this in the fourth best matchup this season. And then we got Frankfurt, former last season's Europa League winners, who actually beat Barcelona as well in the Europa League, and then beat Roma. I think it was. Was it Roma? No, actually, Roma won the Conference League. So who did? I don't know who Frankfurt beat, but yeah, it's Frankfurt versus Napoli. So this game can also go both ways. Napoli doing really good this season. I'm gonna put this game as as the fifth best game. I'm kind of ranking like games of the season. I think this has to be seventh. I think this should be the sixth best game, seventh best game. I don't know, this would be eighth best game. This would be seventh best game for me. But yeah, I think Frankfurt. I really don't know how are Frankfurt doing this season. Frankfurt. Or let's just take a look at Bundesliga table. I think they're like, what are they? Fourth, fifth in the league. So yeah, I think they're doing pretty good. I think they're definitely a decent team. After last season, they looked insane. I have to say that for sure. But actually, like Napoli also are a very very strong team. You got that. What's his name? K Varadona. Is that his name? K Vara. Yeah, but people call him K Varadona because he's Maradona, the new Napoli Maradona. So I think Napoli also have a really really good team. And in my opinion, I think this is going to be a really good matchup for both sides here as well, for Frankfurt and Napoli. But in my opinion, as of now, I think Napoli are the strongest team. Then we got here Dortmund and Chelsea, man. This is one of my favorite matchups for sure. And I think here I know I'm not the biggest Dortmund fan. Like I sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad. This year Dortmund are something different, not only in the Bundesliga, but I think there's something different in they're really doing good in the Bundesliga in the Champions League as well. You got Jude Bellingham, you got what's his name? Schlotterbeck, I think he's been doing really good. You got Nicolas Schule, you got Adeyemi, and I think they got Haller. They have some really good ballers, some really good young players, as I said, Jude Bellingham. And with the way Chelsea have been playing, they're going through a lot. Like their backline, they got Kalidou Koulibaly, I think he's injured or something. Aubameyang kind of ghosting the past 2-3 games. Same with kind of Sterling. Mount, what is Mount up to? So Chelsea kind of looking like they're also kind of 50-50. They have some good games, they have some bad games. So they're not really consistent with their games, and that's really the problem with Chelsea. The thing with Dortmund is I think Dortmund always find a way to show up, and I think that's why Dortmund are the stronger team. I'm gonna put this game as the I think this has to be the third best game, the third best matchup in the Champions League. We then go to Inter and Porto. So this is a very interesting game for me. And over here, I'm probably going to be more biased towards Porto, especially because you got Taremi and stuff. This is going to be the sixth best game this season, or in the sixth best matchup in the round of 16 draw. But I really have to say Porto. I think Inter are also very inconsistent. They do have really good players. They have Barella, Skriniar, of course. Barella, Skriniar, what's his name? Barella, Skriniar, Çalhanoğlu. So I think they have some good players. In the midfield, they have some really good ballers. The midfield is what I really like about Inter Milan. But the thing with Porto is Porto have been doing really good. You got Taremi, who's been killing it for Porto in the Liga NOS in the group stage of the Champions League. You got that Canadian guy as well. He's doing really good. And in my opinion, that's why Porto are the stronger team. And I don't think Inter, even though I do say like I like Inter the way they play because of the midfield, especially Çalhanoğlu and Barella, and Skriniar, those are the three players that really makes me enjoy Inter Milan. But other than that, like they're not really doing the best right now in the Serie A as well. Losing to Juventus this past weekend as well, and they're seventh in the league. Not even in a Europa League. Not even in a UEFA League competition. So not really the best. And as I said, it really comes down to match day. But even then, I think Porto are the stronger team. Even if Inter were doing good in the Serie A, I think Porto are the stronger team. So yeah, that is that. And then the best game, the best matchup, and this is what I want to talk about for like another few minutes here, is PSG versus Bayern München, or should I say Bayern Munich, guys. And I said last week, if you guys watched last week's episode, I said if this happens at all, we said over here. So these are the teams who are like, oh yeah, I'll take them for sure. These are the teams I did not want as all. This is a team where like no opinion, and then Benfica we couldn't get, and I said Madrid are probably the best team for us in terms of play style. I think Madrid have the most similar play style um to Paris Saint Germain. I think now, taking a look at us getting Bayern, the two teams I did not want absolutely at all was Bayern and City. And looking at this, because we got Bayern, I just want to take a look. If I think between the two absolute worst teams, I think Bayern would be the better team of the two absolute worst teams, and not the better team like as if they're better than City. The easier team of the two worst teams that I would like to get. So what I'm trying to say is, Bayern and City, I did not want them at all because both of them are incredibly insane this season. But City are way better than Bayern this season, so Bayern will be an easier opponent than Man City, but they're still gonna be a harder opponent. So they're gonna be easier than City, but still gonna be a challenging game, and that's what I'm trying to say here. And it's just because the way City play, we cannot afford losing to Man City. We cannot afford playing Man City because of the way that Man City play. Is they play so much possession. And they have Holland as well. Holland Mbappe. That matchup would be crazy. But they play so much possession. And the problem with a team playing possession against PSG is that's gonna make us apply some sort of press. If we apply press, they're just gonna go on the counterattack and we're gonna be screwed. And we're already screwed even when we're not applying press. So that's why Man City, the way they play is bad. And yes, we can get City, since City plays so high up. We could go on the counterattack, but in my opinion, I think City, they're kind of vulnerable to, like, I think they're kind of like, they're not really the best at counterattacks, but I think they still have the ability to stop counterattacks. Like, their ability to stop counterattacks is better than Bayern Munich, is what I'm trying to say here, and that's why I said Bayern Munich are going to be easier than Man City, but still going to be a very, 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 very the second most challenging team that we could have got, is what I'm trying to say here. So that's one thing, is between the two worst teams I would have chosen to get. I think the absolute worst team, the absolute first worst team I did not want to get was Man City. Second would be Bayern, and what I'm trying to say here, Bayern are easier than City, but they're still the second hardest team we could have gotten, is what I'm trying to say. Now, Bayern this season have been doing incredible, man. They have literally been killing it. I'm very nervous of Leroy Sané, guys. Sané, this guy is absolutely crazy this season in the Bundesliga. Same with Davies and Jamal Musiala. This dual partnership between the two youngsters is incredible, guys. So I'm very scared there. Kimmich is insane. Sadio Mane doing crazy as well. And on PSG side, we have a crazy M&M attack where Messi and Neymar have been showing up. Crazy. And Messi and Neymar, they took last season personally, and then after not getting the Ballon d'Or, they took that personally and said, we are both you have to hand out 2 Ballon d'Ors this year because we are both coming for that Ballon d'Or. We are both the best players of all time this season. So Messi and Neymar said, you have to give 2 Ballon d'Ors this year because we're going off. We're going to be going crazy. And then I think we have Mbappe as well. And in my opinion, I think Mbappe is doing really good. Yes, in the big, he has some questionable games where he has a big ego. But other than that, I think Mbappe is, if we were to get City and then everyone is saying, oh, who's better, Mbappe or Holland? I'd say Mbappe still. And let's take an example. And this is FIFA, guys. Keep in mind, this is FIFA. But I want to give this example, is when you take a look at FIFA, Holland is about he's 80k right now on FIFA 23 by EA Sports, whereas Mbappe is 1.5 million coins on FIFA 23 EA Sports. And I think the reason of that is because, once again, Mbappe has the technical dribbling ability. He's a physical, he's fast, his shooting is absolutely insane. Maybe Holland's shooting is better, but Mbappe still has insane shooting. On top of that, he's agile. His dribbling is insane. His technical ability, even on and off the ball, is all crazy. And that's why I always compare Mbappe to being the new Messi and Haaland to being the new Cristiano Ronaldo. They will never be like Messi and Ronaldo, but in terms of one being a lone, absolutely number 9 killer banger, powerful like net breaking striker, that is what I consider Haaland. That's why I can like compare him to being the new Ronaldo. And then for Mbappe, yes, he's still a goal scoring striker like Ronaldo, but he also has that technical ability like Lionel Messi. So like I'm still trying to say like Mbappe this season has so much good technical ability, and that's what Holland doesn't have. And I think that's why the M&M that we have this season for PSG is gonna help us destroy Bayern Munich. And let's talk a bit more about the team. So yeah, in the midfield, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and Verratti. I think our midfield is pretty decent. Maybe if we get a new box-to-box midfielder. I mean, we do have Renato Sanchez, so I think our midfield is quite set. We just need to make them more prepared and kind of train them a bit more physically, because Bayern Munich is a very physical team. You see what they've done. If you take a look at Alphonso Davies at Whitecaps and then compare him to how he looks like at Bayern Munich. Same with Goretzka. Goretzka when he was young and joined Bayern, and look at Goretzka now. Same with Kimmich. Is these guys, I don't know what they do. They put these guys on steroids and make them, they give them 10 packs, not even 6 packs, 10 packs. They make these guys into beasts, into Frankensteins, into Hulks. So that's why we need to train our team more to be a bit more physical team. So that's what I'm a bit nervous of. And then same with our backline as well. I think Nunez and Hakimi will be brilliant in our backline. Same with Donnarumma. I think Ramos, Marquinhos are good. I think like all of them are pretty decent. There's some very, very foolish mistakes that we made this season, which I'm nervous of, very nervous of. So I think we need to get a new center back and maybe a new CDM. I think that is what we need. Renato Sanchez, Fabian Ruiz, they're not really a CDM. I guess you can say Danilo Pereira, but I think we need another CDM. I think we need a new CDM for sure. So I think a center back like Skriniar is our main priority, and then maybe another like a CDM or something like that for sure. Or maybe like a new fullback. I think that's not bad as well. Like an attacking fullback, I guess you can say. Maybe a winger, maybe a new winger as well. But I think our main priority is going to be a center back, then a fullback, then a CDM / winger. So either or, I wouldn't mind. But yeah, overall, yeah, there's definitely, I think both teams are going to be insane. Bayern killing it this season. Same with PSG. Now the thing is, PSG and Bayern, the last time they met each other was in 2021 round of 16, and PSG knocked out Bayern Munich. The aggregation was actually 4-4, but there was away goal rules back then, so it is going to be different this year. And we don't talk about 2020 PSG Bayern Munich UCL final, where Bayern Munich lost. Unfortunately, we could not secure our first UCL title. But in how many years? In 3 years. In 3 years, we matched Bayern Munich 3 times. 2020 UCL final. 2021. 2021. I guess 4 years you can kind of say. So UCL 2020, June 2020, you had UCL final where we matched Bayern Munich and we lost. And then February 2021, we had PSG Bayern Munich. And now February 2024, we're gonna have, or February 2023, we're gonna have PSG Bayern Munich. So I guess you can say in 4 years we matched Bayern Munich 3 times, and I think we have a really good chance. Yes, I was scared at first. They're definitely not the easiest opponents. I wish we got a team like Porto and stuff, but yeah, this is gonna be one of the best games we're gonna see. It's gonna be a crazy game for sure. It's gonna be a crazy game for sure. So stay tuned for this. I'm very, very nervous. But at the same time, to get, like, we're going to, if we didn't have them, if they got to the final and PSG got to the final, we're going to have to verse a big team eventually. So eventually you're going to have to verse a big team. The only reason why I say I'm nervous is because we're versing a big team early on, and that's what you don't want to see. You want to verse a big team when you get to the final, not really early on. But at the same time, if you knock out these big teams early on, you're prepared because you're more prepared because you verse big teams, and then you're versing easier teams. So I guess that's also good, and then you also knock out these big teams as well. So that's why these big competitions, Liverpool, Madrid, one of these big teams getting knocked out early is really good. Chelsea, Dortmund, one of them getting knocked out is good. Inter, Porto, that's gonna be good to get knocked out as well. And then PSG, Bayern. For the other groups, to get one of these two teams out is also really good for the other teams as well. So for PSG, hopefully we win. I think we have a really good chance as well. Even though our backline is still a bit questionable, I think our attack and our midfield has the capabilities. So yeah, this was kind of funny. I just want to note this as well. I think this Friday we're gonna be doing a World Cup episode with Gareth. I'm just gonna we might talk a bit about the Champions League as well. Get his thought on the draw. But yeah, it's quite funny because Liverpool drawed Madrid in the round of 16, and then right after the draw, Liverpool FSG Fenway Sports Guide, who actually own Liverpool, put up Liverpool for sale for I don't know how much they put them up for sale, but yeah, it looks like they put them up for sale. So that's quite hilarious. Oh my, transfer market tagging Elon Musk. Imagine Elon Musk buy Liverpool. All players are gonna go there, make $1 billion a week, guys. And then yeah, this is also one more thing before we end off the episode with a photo. Yeah, this is quite hilarious. It is an Argentinian Cup final, but still, man, crazy, holy man, Argentinian passion by who's this? Is this Boca Juniors? Yeah, I think this is Boca Juniors and Racing. Holy man, what is holy? Yes, like a lot of these cars were in the last like 10 minutes of the game, but still, man, that is crazy, man. How is this even alright, man? 7 red cards? Holy. They were desperate for that goal, man. They were actually desperate. So crazy there. Let's end it off with a photo, guys. Let's put some Champions League players or like players we talked about today. Let's start off with, we talked about Salah. He had a good week as well. Let's put Salah, not a Premier League player. We talked about Mbappe as well. Mbappe versus Holland. So it is a striker. Lewandowski. We could go to Lewandowski. Not a La Liga player. Who else did we really talk about? Yeah, Zlatan, guys. Zlatan. Let's go here. So this is a Serie A player. I want to go with Osimhen. He had a really good weekend last week. Osimhen. I think it's Osimhen. Not a Napoli player. Not a Napoli striker. Let's go to Vlahovic. It could be Vlahovic. Not a Juventus player. Who else could it be? Who's a Inter Milan striker? Lautaro Martinez. Oh, Martinez, easy, guys. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the episode, yeah, we didn't talk about him, but still. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. As I said, this Friday we should have a big episode with Gareth talking about the. We'll take a look at a quick summary of the Champions League, but I mainly want to talk about the World Cup. With Gareth, we're gonna talk about. I think this week, yeah, we'll just talk about anything about the World Cup. Look at Brazil's lineup. Look at like the favoring teams as well. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Make sure you follow both my personal and the podcast Instagrams to stay tuned. I'll upload here when a podcast will be uploaded. But for now, stay happy, stay positive, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Peace.